Welcome back to How to Make You a Better Public Speaker. Today is lesson 55, and we are talking about cultural sensitivity. That's right. Being culturally sensitive is going to make you a better public speaker in this day and age when we're connected. And if you want to have a wide range of audience, you've got to be kind of careful on how you speak. So here are 3 ways to make yourself a little bit more culturally sensitive. Number 1, effective communication. Okay, here's an example. In America, giving eye contact is important when you are talking to somebody and when you're listening to somebody. And again, talk to someone, look at them. But in some countries like Korea or Japan, if you are looking at someone too long, it might be seen as a threat or you're being aggressive. So be careful who your audience is and where you're speaking at and how you speak. Because again, communication is 75% nonverbal. So your body language will tell everything. Example again, number 2 would be the bottom of your feet. In a lot of like Middle Eastern countries, if you show the bottom of your feet, that's also a sign of disrespect as well. So if your story has something to do with you walking or getting your feet dirty and you're like, hey, look at my feet, you might not want to do that because again, you're not going to connect with your audience so well if you're disrespecting them in that way. Number 2, relevance and relatability. Okay, so let me give an idea. You want to make sure you're relating to your audience and being relevant. Let's think. You have a story where you and a friend go out to eat, and let's say you guys go to a pork rib place. If you are speaking in a predominantly Muslim country, or even your audience is predominantly Muslim, you probably are not going to connect well if you're talking about how amazing these pork ribs are and they're finger looking good. You might want to change it to something a little bit different, something neutral, like chicken. Same thing if you're in India, eating a giant juicy hamburger probably doesn't sit well with your audience being mostly Hindu and they don't eat beef. Same thing with vegans or vegetarians. Talk about eating a salad and how amazing the salad was. But again, you're making a bigger point. Your message typically isn't about eating. It might be something bigger, but if you can't be relevant and relate to your audience, they're not going to listen to you and they're going to forget what you said and not going to hear your point. Number 3, probably most important, stereotypes and just being plain offensive. Again, as a white male, let's not do blackface. Let's not use certain words. Let's not make fun of different religions. And I mean, you could be anybody and not do any of that. But again, also, when you're telling a story, you don't need to act out your characters. So a lot of times when I'm telling a story and it's like, okay, so me and my friend were going out to eat, and someone will stop you. Who's your friend? Say my friend is so and so. Right? His race, religion doesn't matter. Some people will be like, me and my black friend, or me and my Mexican friend, me and my. It's not necessarily important to the bigger part of the story. And understandably, you're trying to use imagery and try to paint a picture. But nowadays, it's probably less important to get to the actual point of your story. The race, religion of your friend is irrelevant. Unless it's kind of relevant to the story, then I understand. But the idea is don't be offensive and stereotype every single culture. It's not going to work because, again, you might talk to one audience and stereotype them, but someone's going to hear it and you're not going to be consistent. So let's recap. Number 1, effective communication. Number 2, relevance and relatability. And number 3, don't stereotype or be offensive. So go out there, become culturally sensitive, and become a better public speaker. See you next time.